Hello, Lou Harvey Zara here. I wanted to do some craft with you today because craft's really special for children. It's like being a magician. Today we're just going to use a single piece of paper and nothing else, and we're going to turn it into two crafts. And so if children are young, they like to watch the parents do it. This will be a party trick for the next 10 years, that we turn this single piece of paper into a paper boat to play with and float. And if children are older, then I've made paper boats with 9 and 10-year-olds in classes, and they've made 100 paper boats at playtime over the next 3 weeks with recycled paper because they get a little obsessed. And it's a very powerful thing to create something out of your own hands. And while you're doing craft and working your fingertips, it's very important also for rewiring the brain. That's why occupational therapists give basket weaving to stroke victims. But let's go on with some craft. Now, I've got some lovely families across the world that I know and I've met, and some of you have just found me or got my books. And so I need to talk to people who are in Australia and it's hot and we're going to do paper boats. And at the same time, I need to talk to my parents and friends out there who are in LA, in America, in the UK, in Europe, and it's freezing cold. So every time I do craft, I have to do the 2 seasons. So with these pieces of paper, we're going to make a paper boat for when it's hot here, and we're going to make a frost crystal snowflake if it's cold in your season. Okay, I would say pause this video now, run off and get yourself a piece of paper, because it's easier to do the paper boats watching me and doing it together. If children are a lot older, you can do it together with each other and replay it. And as I said, if they're young, when you make the paper boats, they can help with the creases. I love this summer craft activity. Don't also be afraid. Children like the same activity. If it's a seasonal craft like we're doing, every year they like to revisit. It's been a whole year since they've made paper boats, unless they like making them throughout the year. And so each year they get a little bit more skill until they end up making them themselves. So one craft can last 7 years of seasonal activities, or 9 years, or however long. So let's move on. Put your piece of paper this way, so we call it vertical or like a tall mirror, and we're just going to fold it down the middle and make sure that the flaps are on the bottom, so it looks like a card if we were going to put it down like this. Now we're going to fold it along the middle again, not because we are going to keep it that way, we just want to find the middle crease. So give it a tiny little fold so we've got the middle, and open it back out with the flap still being down the bottom. This is the mistake people make. They do this and the flaps are at the top and it won't work. So make sure the flaps are at the bottom, and then we are going to create a triangle going down this way along the middle crease. And then we're going to make a triangle with the other side going down the middle, so it ends up looking like this. And this is where the 2-3-year-old can put magic energy to say, make a boat, and add the magic. Now you've got the flaps at the bottom, remember? And you're going to put either flap up so it ends up looking like a party hat. So we'll put the flap up this way and turn it around, and we're going to put the flap up this way, which would end up being a very nice little party hat. But we're going to move on from the party hat. Now you can see we've got these flappy bits on the side. Just fold it in. So you fold it in like that, just so it's not flapping around, and then fold the other one over the top like that, so that we've just tapped them in. So one goes in and one goes over, just so it looks a little nicer when we've made our boat. So now we've got this party hat with the sides folded in. Now we're going to put our party hat this way, end to end. We're going to put our thumbs inside and open it up so that it ends up looking like a diamond. And the flaps are still at the bottom. And we do the same, we're going to fold up. So we're going to fold it up so it looks like a triangle. So fold this flap right up onto itself. And then turn it around and fold this flap right up. So we end up with a triangle that looks like this. And the flap is still at the bottom, like an even tinier hat. Okay, so it looks like a triangle. Now, we're going to put our thumbs in again and put it open. So we are finally with a diamond shape again. I'll show you that to you once more. So you've got this triangle. Put your turn. You can turn it around this way again if you want. Put your thumbs in and make a diamond shape again. Now this is where the magic happens. If you've got a young child, tell them to blow on it. Magic boat energy. Put a magic spell on it. Obviously older children, it's like origami and they like it. We hold the two at the top, see how it moves, and we put it open and it has created, just put your thumbs down the bottom here, a paper boat. And there's the sail in the middle. And here is my water. And there was my testing one because I hadn't made it for a few years. And off they float. Down the river on a piece of string, in the bath, tubs of water outside. They can float away. Just like magic. Wonderful summer craft. Okay, let's go to winter now. You can still watch this because you can remember it for winter if you're hot. You need that single piece of paper again and a small side plate, and we are just going to, I would normally draw around this side plate, but I forgot to bring a pen. But we are basically going to draw around the side plate, but I'm just cutting around it. We're just going to make a circle. So find anything that you've got to create a circle. I don't need that anymore. And we're going to start with a circle. So you could draw around lots of plates ready to make some circles. Here's your circle. This is how we make snowflakes or frost crystals. Again, young children will just help a tiny bit, doing some little snips. Older children will make the most intricate, wonderful frost crystals, snowflakes. And no two will ever be the same, just like there's no two snowflakes the same in the world. So we're going to fold it in half. That looks like a boat. We're going to fold it again, a second time, which I call a pizza slice. We're going to follow it again, which I call an ice cream cone. And once we have our piece of paper like this, we take a pair of scissors and we simply cut in around the edges. Now we can't simply snip because nothing will happen. We do have to cut little tiny shapes out. Now young children can do a snip that way or help you hold the scissors and you snip that way, so it's a triangle. Older children might spend quite a lot of time really doing intricate different little snips, whether it's like a crescent moon shape, whether it's a square, whether it's a triangle. But the idea is, don't snip the whole of the bottom off, but you can snip anywhere around any of these sides in little snips, and you can do this for a while, creating magic. Children really love the alchemy of turning something simple like a piece of paper into something else. So we keep snipping away. As I say, people can take a while. They can do it quite quickly. We can even snip around that outside edge too. Just cutting shapes. I'm doing it quite simply for you just to see. And then when you've snipped around, so you can see it almost looks like the whole triangle's been eaten away with little edge pieces out of it. And then we open it once, and we open it again, and we open it a third time, and we have a beautiful frost crystal, because that was lots and lots of little snips. Now if I show you again, if we made bigger snips, so I'm going to go over those snips again, but I'm actually going to make it quite big right into the middle. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to do it right into the middle here. You've got to be careful because sometimes children cut all the way across and then it's a little disaster. But it's only a piece of paper, so it's not really a disaster. It's all just playing, trying out different ways to cut this frost crystal. So I've taken that same frost crystal, but I've done some really much bigger indents. And let's see how it looks this time. Have a look at that. So you can see. Beautiful. This is for older. You can see. You can have a little more snip. My daughter had a prep teacher, and on everybody's birthday they had to bring in just a plain sponge cake, and he would get them to choose a little bit of coloured origami paper, and at morning tea he would do this folding, and then he would do this snipping, and this really bigger snipping across, not just little bits, and then he would give it to the child and they would unfold their own special snowflake, because it's like there's only one of them in the world. There's only one of these snowflakes in the world. And then he would get the child to put the snowflake on their plain sponge cake, and then there would be a jar of icing sugar, and the children would just sprinkle it on the top, and then very carefully he would lift it off, and the top of their birthday cake had the pattern of what we call the magic frost crystal. So I do encourage you to do that for children's birthdays too. It's very magical. So even if it's not winter where you are, make some and have a play around. They do look very nice just hanging them on your window for the winter, or behind your seasonal table. I hope you've enjoyed learning what to do with a single piece of paper for both summer and winter. Have a play around, enjoy the craft. Children find craft magical. So just, if you can stop your busy day just to spend 5 minutes doing this, it will be worth your while. And I'll catch you for more seasonal tips, more creative discipline tips, every other aspect of parenting in my books, my workshops, my talks, and of course on this YouTube channel. So if you'd like to press like, if you'd like to give me a comment to let me know you're here, and sign up, I'll be seeing you once a week to bring in these wonderful ideas for children, because I know parents need more ideas, so they don't automatically come to us, so we need some help and some guidance. And so anybody can be crafty, I promise you. It's not about whether you can draw a good picture. It is just about having fun, and the craft I'm going to give you are so simple, and you might need to watch the paper boat a few times, but I promise you once you do it and it's in your brain, it's like riding a bike. You'll be able to do it in the years to come. I'll see you later.